just about ready for the first pitch here from a gorgeous afternoon here at Wood County. We're on the campus of BGSU here by the score of 3-2. 88-degree day. Wind blowing out. And the first pitch is in there for a strike.
A couple of games from last week.
Isn't that the truth? Swing and a miss. Kowalski ahead on the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
Wind is blowing in from left field over towards the right field line. It'll help a ball hit towards right field, but it will take a rocket to get out of here and left.
Next pitch is on the way, just a bit outside. Didn't miss by much.
A little bit of a cut fastball right there that started off on the outside corner, then broke away from the plate. A good pitch to try and get somebody to chase.
So now all of a sudden the count goes full with 3 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and that's the way the first hitter is retired. So Harpster down on strikes, and that'll bring up Jordan Saffel.
Went deep in the count, though, before striking out. That time, Kowalski again getting her to maybe chase a little pitch. And there's that cut pitch on the outside.
Here, this is the first time I've actually seen her in person, but I've seen many of the highlights of Notre Dame softball games on television. I've done a lot of scouting on this young lady, and she is not only a good one, she's going to be a very, very good one by the time she reaches her senior year. She's just a freshman and one of the top pitchers, not only in the track, but in the entire Northwest Ohio area. Next pitch, swing and miss. 2 up, 2 down.
Right-handed hitters are going to have to make an adjustment. Watch this ball slide away, down and away. And the key there is you're either going to have to get up on the plate or just spit on it. Just kind of leave it alone. Make her throw one over the plate. Wait for one to hang. Easier said than done.
Swing and a miss.
And that's the reason why, because she can come right back with the straight fastball. And, of course, that cut and or slider resembles a fastball coming out of the hand and then breaks away from the right-handed hitter.
Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kowalski trying to strike out the side and go 1, 2, 3 here in the top half of the first.
There's that slide piece again, trying to get her to chase that.
Swing and a miss. Kowalski.
This is a tough sky right now. And the ball was hit hard, and that's always the toughest play for an outfielder. A line drive hit right at you. It's hard to judge. And Kowalski gets bailed out there at third base, Joe.
Katie Kowalski's a .324 hitter. No home runs, but she has knocked in 20 on the year.
Big 2-out RBI hit. Always huge. Coaches like to see that. She's flashing signs. She's picking up the signs from behind the plate outside. She was probably getting the catcher's setup. Now let's see if she does it again. No signal that time. And with 2 outs, Notre Dame still hitting with a couple on the board.
And now Kowalski
today, and talking to Dwayne before the game, and he said that they haven't decided when that game will be played. If it's Notre Dame, there's some school conflicts involved, and so it's still up in the air whether it'll be a Thursday or a Friday game.
And 4 up and 4 down via the strikeouts. Kowalski really has it going as Masters is retired.
There's that little slide outside. Out of the strike zone, starts on the corner, breaks away. Dwayne had an extremely successful coaching career at Owens Community College as this fastball gets buried down the middle with a swing. And championship. At one point, they had won 30 games in a row.
There's one lifted towards center.
In softball clinic, and he was the mainstay of the softball end and always brought out point. So he was always there to help the kids. There's a shot.
Tiffany McCullough now. And a 1-ball-and-1-strike count. Well, that's what it's about, the kids. And so many of these coaches and umpires don't get enough credit for really donating, because that's what they're doing. They get paid very little. Their time to coach and teach these youngsters. Well, let's get out of here. Hopefully that will be for Notre Dame as the Eagles lead 2-0 as we go to the top of the third inning.
Nice shot of the pond there between innings on the Forest Creason soon-to-be closed golf course.
Isn't that something? I was a little bit bummed out that course is closing after all these years. It's been a nice facility for many years here at Bowling Green. I played it several times. I know you played it as well, Rick. It's
lack of use is basically it.
Well, and it costs so much to fund a golf course. No balls and 2 strikes. Lee, Robertson, Flume. If anybody gets on, Thorne here for Ashland.
It winds its way here around the softball, tennis, and baseball facility. It's always fun to sit up in the press box and watch the golfers riding around on the carts on a nice day.
Swinging him in.
I can remember some games here. Look at that pitch. A little bit of dip on it right at the end. There's a green. We may be able to get a shot of it right behind the right field fence here at the softball facility. And on a slow day, girls softball here,
there's a little pop fly down the right field line, fouled out of play.
We would get a close-up of the guys. Well, you can critique their drive, Joe. I've seen you drive. You know how to hit the ball. Janet has taught you well.
In more ways than one, Rick. She is the boss. I just say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, kind of like you do.
Yeah.
After all these years.
Right.
There's one hit on a line, but the third baseman has it.
Talked about Masters taking a sting out of the bat. Kowalski can do the same thing. Gets those little nubbers.
Or bowling it. Diamond over at first base. Aaron Bolin at third base for Notre Dame. There's a swing and a miss. That was just a high, hard one.
I wonder if they call Faltise the Faltise Falcon.
The Faltise Falcon. I don't know.
If not,
they do
from
now.
now on.
They do now. You just invented a nickname for her. That breeze feels good. Kind of cools things off up here in the press box, doesn't it?
Well, when we propped it open with your chair and your sport coat, it's working out fine.
It's 2 strikes and 2 outs. Deuce is wild. Here comes the next pitch. Strike 3. No runs and 6 strikeouts. Back to the top of the order at Harpster here for Ashland. First pitch swinging, foul back and out of play. Harpster swing and a miss. Harpster late on that pitch as well.
Well, Ashland came off the field feeling good about themselves last inning. They had a positive defensive inning, 1, 2, 3. Good job by Masters, and backed up by some defense. They need to do something here offensively. And the job for Kowalski is knowing that this game is kind of settled a little bit. You know, they scored a couple runs early. Now it's kind of settled. It's her job now is to just make sure that she keeps this team at bay. And that's the way to do it.
And that'll bring up Staffel.
There's the ball up in the upper part of the zone, changing the eye level of the hitter. You get used to looking down and away, and then come up high with that rise fastball. And then come right back to the next hitter. If you're watching in the on-deck, first pitch is down in the zone. Part of the art of pitching, moving the ball around. There you see the change again, up and away. Just enough to throw the hitter's timing off, and that's all you're trying to do as a pitcher. Mess up the timing.
One ball.
Late, get a piece of it type swing.
Swing and a miss. She's making short work at the top of this order. Saffel's down on strikes for the second time, and that'll bring up Chambers.
Well, you mentioned getting ahead of the hitters, and this is what you can do. When you're ahead of the hitter, then you can make your pitch. And she comes up again there with that pitch up in the zone. Looks good coming in. You've got 2 strikes. You've got to take a whack at it. Can't catch up with it.
For the second time in this game, the top of the order going 1, 2, 3. And that's exactly what happens. Katie Kowalski.
I'm sure that she saw him in the corner of her eye.
Now that is the pitcher number 10, Katie Kowalski.
But I'm sure she'll tell you that she should have had it.
Katie Kowalski walked her last time up. Looks at this one in the dirt.
Oh, good heads-up base running there. Gets the runner to second base. And the ball in the dirt. Somebody obviously from the Ashland side yelling out, hey, you got to help the pitcher out. And that's true. You got to play some defense. And right now, there's a runner at second, nobody out.
That's an easy one, but it was right at Diggins in right field.
Well, Masters is trying to do it all. The senior leading her young team today, doing it on the in the circle and trying to do it at the plate with the shot to right field, but playing perfect defense out there is Diggins right in front of that line drive.
So here's Foster, who flied out to center her last time up.
With her pitch that's up in the zone that looks so good coming in, you can see the whole ball. It looks really easy to hit, but when it's got a lot of giddy up on it, you can't get the bat on top of the ball. You end up swinging underneath it or just fouling it back. But if you're going to live up there, you better have some juice on it.
There's one popped up. Look out here. The center fielder comes in and makes the catch. So
just swinging with all arms right there. But good defense by Notre Dame. They've made the plays here now, 2 in a row. Played that well behind her with 3 errors. Just the opposite with Kowalski. She knows that she can get these Ashland hitters to miss-hit the baseball, and she's got the defense that will be able to make the plays.
here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and tapped foul. McCullough, the designated player for Ashland, grounded out to third her last time up. Bolin made a nice play over there at third base.
But we continue to bring up the fact that this is only a 2-run game. That might come back.
Little excuse me foul ball.
Still got to run those out, though. Always a possibility that ball roll back fair.
Little tapper to short. Up with it and on over to first. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and lofted high and deep into right center field, and it's over the wall for a 3-1 homer. So KT Rex clears the bases, and it's 5-0 Eagles.
Well, that ball got into that jet stream.
All righty, we're back, and now all of a sudden a 2-0 game is a 8-0 affair as Kowalski goes back to the circle.
And she comes back to the circle with a lot of weight taken off of her shoulders because she's not nursing a 2-run lead.
Feeling a little bit better, up 8. Make things a little bit easier for her. All she needs to do is throw Kowalski here this afternoon. Make it 10.
Nope, just playing catch here right now. The only thing that's going to hurt you are free passes. Make them use the bat. You know that the defense can play behind you, and so
number 11, Claire Robertson.
just pitch your game, make your pitches, work the corners, cruise on home.
Ball on 1 strike.
That one just missed on the inside corner. Nice job of trying to frame that pitch. Rex does a real good job of making sure that she gives the umpire as good a look as he can get at that pitch on either corner.
That one popped up. Wind playing havoc with it a little bit, but Rubel's able to squeeze it for out number 2.
Again, getting them to mishit the ball. Letting your defense do stuff like that.
Second baseman, number 8, Mackenzie.
See how that ball was drifting to the left of the shortstop, carrying it away from her just a little bit. Not easy to corral those pop-ups on a day like today.
Got to go find some more.
Anybody bring a softball? They get one from the back of one of the grounds crew trucks here. And now the umpire on the first base side throws one in. They bring the yellow one in. They've been playing with yellow all day. The yellow one goes in the home plate umpire's pocket. And there's a yellow one on the mound too.
Pretty good rip at that one. Fouled straight back.
They bring out a ton of softballs for these games.
And another string game.
After 5.5 innings still, 4 innings.
So what a performance for the Notre Dame Eagles. They put 10 on the board to defeat the Ashland Arrows by the score of 10-0. The freshman phenom in the circle.
Katie, masterful performance today. Not only was it a no-hitter, but turns out also a perfect game. No walks, no errors. How did it feel out there today?
I felt great, and I knew I had my team behind me, so I was very confident in my team and myself.
Well, it looked to me like you really had control of the situation out there. You're throwing that what I call a slider. It's your curveball, but it acts more like a curve and a slider. We'll call it a slurve. But you seemed like you had the Ashland hitters a little off balance, and they were chasing that ball as it would come out to that outside corner and then dip away.
Yes, that's like my go-to pitch. I always throw that to batters. I can place that in different locations, and the batters always go for it.
Well, and that's the key. When you don't walk anybody, that means you do have command out there, and you are putting the ball in the location you want it to. Tell us a little bit about that defense, though, that plays behind you.
Oh, they did so good today. They helped me out with no errors, and I just have full confidence in them out there, and I know they have my back.
And offensively, you got off to a quick start, 2-0. Looked like it might be your day hitting-wise as a team. But then things kind of settled down. Did you feel maybe a little bit of pressure there towards the middle of the game when you were kind of nursing that 2-run lead?
I did, but I knew my team would come back me up. We usually get a slow start, then we pick it up, and we do what we need to get it done.
Well, it's been a developmental process for you this year. You had to come in as a freshman and just kind of learn things a little bit, and you kind of moved into that number one position. Tell us a little bit about your development this year as a pitcher.
I think I have developed a lot as a pitcher this year. I've become more confident in myself, and I have better command than I used to, and just more confidence.
Well, you certainly do have a lot of confidence, and for a freshman, that is really great. So congratulations, and now Whitmer's next.
Yes, they are. Thank you.
Okay, Joe, back to you.
Thank you very much.